$630,000. 1 million, 1.7, 2 million, and $80,000. Some of these users were outright gambling, and some of them were long-term boring shares. But there is one thing they have in common. They all made life, changing money. Starting with the Reddit user JimBeam145. In February 2020, Mr. Jim posted a screenshot of their portfolio titled, "It ain't much, but it's honest work," which is funny considering they bought 4,400 shares at around $72 per share. This would cost them around $320,000. They did sell half of their shares when Shopify's stock reached $180 per share, but nonetheless held the rest until the stock reached a whopping $500 per share, which would skyrocket their portfolio to $1 million. This is not as crazy as some of the plays I'm about to show you, but considering that their portfolio was literally just Shopify, it is still pretty impressive how they held with diamond hands. Having a portfolio with a single stock is always going to be risky, but the word risky means nothing for this degenerate. In January 2022, this trader bought $17,000 worth of Amazon calls, betting that the stock would go up during earnings. He won the bet initially and exited when his calls were worth $75,000. Crazy, right? However, this was just the first trade. He did mention that he would enter the trade again when things looked better. And indeed, on March 9th, 2022, he went all in and bought $75,000 worth of Amazon 2980C, expiring on the 25th of March. This bet netted him a whopping $630,000. This two-step trade boosted our man from $17,000 to $630,000 in the span of 2 months. Congratulations, Jacklock366. If this bet was too risky, don't worry. This next one is a bit safer. In May 2023, Redditor Pat Wright333 posted this screenshot on Wall Street Bets. Much like AMD, Nvidia stock saw a huge jump in price from 2016 when this user first bought it, initially at $11 per share and 4,400 shares. This position would cost around $50,000 initially. After holding for nearly a decade, Mr. Pat Wright's NVDA position would dwarf the rest of his portfolio, reaching a staggering value of $1.7 million. What if you were in the same position? Would you have held for a 33x gain, or would you have sold earlier? Our next Diamond Hands Award winner held Subei's Child since it was only $10. In July 2021, a user by the name The SMD1 posted this screenshot. They initially bought 23,000 shares at around $11 per share, which cost them $252,000. The market value for AMD reached $101 per share at the time of the posting, which left SMD with a profit of $2,080,000. Congratulations. But wait, these plays I showed you earlier are mostly out of reach for the average person working 9 to 5. I don't think most people have $17,000, let alone $252,000, just laying around ready to be used. However, this next play is more reasonable, although a bit riskier. The user's name is deleted, but the post is still up to this day. Our hero bought 20 contracts of Tesla $136 calls at around 23 cents per share. And since each contract has 100 shares, his total cost would be $460. This guy held his contracts till they were each worth about $500 per share in a contract. In other words, $50,000 per contract. This netted him a life-changing $1 million. In other words, this user 2173x their money. Although $460 is relatively affordable for the average person, it is still an insane gamble and not for the faint of heart. What are your favorite plays from this video? How would you react if you held the same positions? I'm curious to see your thought process.